Hey, I'm back at it again. Next project. I've got about 2 cords of wood that I split last weekend, and I had a rack that I traded a couple years back for some wood, and well, when I filled it up, it only holds about a cord, so I got about a cord of wood sitting on the ground, and I decided that I wanted to build a second wood rack. So I decided to pick up some material. I've got 1.5 inch square tubing here with 1/8 inch wall. The existing rack's a little bit larger. It's 2 inch with 3/16 wall, and it's frankly more than it really needs to be. And if I ever move it, it's really a bear to move around. So I decided to cut some weight, use a little bit lighter weight materials. And I'm just getting started here. I'm not exactly matching the old rack, but very close in terms of dimensions. It's going to be roughly 16 inches wide. Actually, it's going to be 18 inches wide. And it's going to be about 10 feet long. And it's going to be about 6 feet high, 5 to 6 feet. The other rack I have doesn't have a covering over it, so when it rains, the wood gets wet. So with this one, I'm going to actually fabricate in a slope from the back post to the front posts, so that I can put some galvanized painted sheet metal on top as just a rain deflector. So I'm going to set it up with the ability to sheet the rain away to help keep the wood dry. And as you can see here, I'm just laying out the bottom rungs, and I'm going to weld this up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the corner. I'm going to do the vertical legs. I'm going to put some more bracing in between these. This isn't exactly where it's going to be located, but I'm going to spread these out in equal distances, and then I'm going to lift this thing up in the air, and then start welding. So as I move forward here, I'll come back, show you my progress here. But I just got it laid out here, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm coming back here. As you can see, I've made some big steps here, and so I changed my design just a little bit on the top. I was originally only going to place one pipe down the center and then fasten the roofing material to it. I realized that would make the roofing material a little bit unstable, so I decided for some additional rigidity to run 2 pieces. So I've got a piece here in the front and another piece in the rear, keeping the 2 verticals stable. One last thing I have to do is I am going to cut some pieces, and I'm going to put some legs down under here, front and back, to distribute the weight a little bit better. And I've only got about half the welding done on this. Everything's straight. I've got a small digital scale here, and I don't know if you can read it, but probably not, but this thing is within 1/10 all the way around. Very close, 2/10 from perpendicular. So I'm going to finish welding a few braces, some pads, and then what I'm going to do is I use this U-channel to set the gauge for the roofing material. So I'm going to measure these out at regular intervals. I'm going to cut them at 22 inches, which is the same width as the 2 ends here. And I'm going to position those and weld those in place. And then this is what I'm going to use to fasten the galvanized and painted steel that I have. I'm going to use some remnant material that I have. You can see on the walls in my shop, I've got that painted steel. I've got several pieces of white remaining, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to strip it down in 22-inch lengths, or widths I should say, and then I'm going to overlay it across the top here and create a bit of some protector from the elements. and let the water sheet off onto the ground so the wood stays nice and dry. I'm going to come back and I'll have this thing all welded up and painted, and I'll take some video of it in position, and then we'll go from there. And like I said, I'll show it loaded up with all the wood. All right, so I've got the wood rack finished, and I used some painted sheet metal siding that I left over from my workshop. I used that for the roof, for the rain guard, if you want to call it as such. And you can see my property is sloped, so we had to build up. Underneath this dirt here is some stone and stuff, and we packed it down, leveled it, and it's a little bit low in the middle, but when you put the wood on there, it will, it'll bend a little bit, but not a big deal. So we're gonna stack it up with some wood. I'll come back and film it full of wood, and that'll be the end of it. And we're coming back now. We had a couple of cords of wood, and this is the original stand that I had, and then this is the one that I fabbed up over the last weekend, and it holds roughly a cord of wood, and you can see, the metal. I used some painted sided sheet metal from my shop, and I'll come walk this way a little bit so you can see what it looks like from the side. And it holds a lot of wood, and we had to put a lot of as I said yesterday, my property is sloped quite a bit, so we had to add a lot of fill dirt, and we put some stone around all the footings there to keep it up off the ground. And this one we're gonna move some dirt. We're gonna put some dirt in under here too, but that one's fine for right now. But anyway, I wanted to come back and just give you guys a final video on my wood rack. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.